What I love about LA is even on a cold morning when you start your car, it never ever goes.
Well,
I love having Lulu and Lala. It means you don't need a radio. Sing, Lou.
if you wanted the moon, I would try to make a start, but
If you hadn't been a singer, what would you have been?
You know the answer to that. I was going to be a hairdresser. Actually, seriously, now when I think about it, I mean, I see myself as one of the luckiest people, having had the career that I've had for so many years, and having been introduced, you know, and traveled the world. So now, if I think about it, I would like to have studied psychology. To be honest, I'd like to have gone to university. And I think I would have possibly also liked to have studied opera.
Can
Is
you
that
sing?
a curveball?
No, it is. I'm loving it. I mean,
I'm in America, that's why I'm using those expressions. A curveball.
you can sing operatically.
I remember I went to a singing teacher years ago, and he taught me to do "O mio bambino caro." That's without warming my voice up, and I couldn't go any further. But yeah, I had learned to do certain pieces in order to learn a technique that would help me preserve my vocal cords, you know, because I would be bashing them a lot when I was young.
Back to the psychology. I mean, it's a side of you that I know.
You do know.
I do know, and it is brilliant because you can see into people. You see into their souls. Is that fair?
That's kind of nice. I like that. Can I see into their souls?
I think so. I think when you look at someone, you see a lot more than most people do.
That's interesting. Well, I think I look for more. I try to... I make judgments, don't get me wrong. When I immediately meet someone, you get a feeling about someone. But I'm very interested in what makes people tick. And that helps, too, in this work. Especially as I'm now, you know, I'm sort of studying acting more. I find that would have been, you know, psychology would have been a great thing to look at people's characters and understand, I like to read between the lines. I'm full of questions. I'm curious.
What makes you tick? Here's a deep one.
I mean, this is heavy furniture here. What makes me tick?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, it's a no-brainer. Music.
Yeah.
I live to make music. I live to make music, and then there's branches of that, of course. Music makes me happy. Music touches my soul. I want to feel connected to people. I never was educated. I didn't have an education, so I never felt that I was particularly articulate, even though I talked a lot. And still do. But I think it starts there. It starts and ends there, actually, music. Music is my first love, and it will be my last, said John Miles.
When you say there about not having an education,
Yes.
is that something that then has driven you on, or is it something that you've had a little bit of a regret about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I try not to regret anything. That's because, you know, I study, I've read, you know, I study, I have a guru, I don't just do the yoga where you go to a class and it's hot yoga this for an hour. I've been studying, and I'm not putting that down, but I've been studying since 1984 with a great master. And, you know, Kashmir Shaivism, Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, the Vedas, and in that, it's philosophy. It's a deeper understanding, trying to find the meaning of life. Really, it's really comes from trying to learn, studying meditation, and I think that has been sort of guiding me, and that's where I come from today. And with that, I come from a place of gratitude, because as I said before, I am so lucky. You know, I mean, at my age, you know, I've been around a long time to be able to still do the music and still love it and get excited. I'm so excited about the next tour, you know. When I was on the tour with Take That, we were all kind of halfway through. We were like, oh, it's going to end because we're having such good fun. We were really upset. We're all kind of sad before the end. So, oh, hold that, hold that. Try to live in the moment. Try to be present, which I never was when I was young. So I've learned a lot, even though I didn't go to formal, traditional school. Being lucky, Lulu, and having had the career started at the time I started, and being inquisitive and wanting to, reach my full potential, consciously and unconsciously, a lot of the time. I have had an education, funnily enough. I would have liked to. I mean, today I'd love to go to university. Although because I study with the meditation and the yoga, and I've been doing it for so long, I have learned quite a lot. But I don't have a formal education. And of course, I do think, and it's made me feel insecure. It's made me feel inadequate many times. In fact, I would never write a song because I thought, you really have to know English. You really have to know your English. You have to maybe, if not a degree, you've had to pass your A-levels. I've set my A-levels, Of course, I learned that that's not necessary.
You think then when you were younger, you were constantly chasing, and now you've gone, no, I'm sort of at peace, at one? Is that the feeling?
No.
No, you're still chasing.
This tour that's coming up in the autumn, in fact, addresses a lot of those questions you're asking me, because what happened was my team came to me and said, you've had such a long career, and you've never really told your story. I mean, not really. And they said this, I've worked with like I say, I'm lucky, worked with so many incredible people that have impacted my life. So I've got, from the beginning of my career till now, pictures, videos, stuff from my life with those people, and the songs that relate to them. I mean, I always want to rock out. The tour is called Lulu on Fire, and there's no Fire. It's the emoji with the flames, because that's how I like it to be. I like to be on fire. I like to be fully alive, I'm not laid back Larry, even though I meditate and I've studied all these, and I still study. I have got an energy that has to be exorcised, I suppose. So going into this tour, I've gotten excited because, as I say, I've not really talked about my life, my story. And then I can also tell it on stage from my side of the camera, from my side of the mic. And maybe even sometimes I can really tell what was really going on.
So, that as a huge David Bowie fan.
Yes.
And on that YouTube video of you singing The Man Who Sold the World. Mm-hmm. And then we had that whole period where you both dressed similarly.
Did we?
Yes, you did. Yeah, we've got the
I had a little bit of a thing about me, you might say. And it was reciprocal.
So
too much.
So come on. So what happened with you and David?
Well, you'll have to come to the show.
You say it? You talk about it in the show?
I may do.
Okay. Okay. Give me a hint. Was there a snog?
Yeah.
Was there more than a snog?
We had a unique relationship, David.
I'm not belittling it, but I'm
old now. There's nothing terrible.
But I mean, was it a love affair? Is that fair?
You have to come to the show.
Come on, Lou.
Yeah, you come to the show.
Were you in love with David Bowie?
Oh, that's a heavy question.
Yeah.
Was I in love with David Bowie?
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe for a minute, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people were in love with him.
Yeah. How many times do you think you have been in love?
Oh, that's a very good question. I think when I was young, I would fall in love. But I was very selective.
Mm-hmm.
I fell in love with, I suppose in answer to your Bowie question, I probably fell in love with Bowie, for a minute. And with Scott Walker, probably a little bit longer. But that was unrequited love. That was, he used to pat me on the head. That was so annoying. You work with or you meet someone who is really talented. I mean, that's why I fell in love with married Morris Gibb. I fell in love with the Bee Gees, the music. And he was just the most tender, you know, gorgeous, cute. And he felt the same way about me. So we were carried off. You know what? I don't know what I'm trying to say. I kind of know what I'm trying to say. I'm not getting it through. But when you're a teenager, when you're young and your hormones are raging, you're in the 60s. You're hanging with the Beatles. You know, you're, hey, Mick. Although I would never do that to Mick Jagger. I was frightened of him. He would say, hello, Lulu. And I go,
Hello, Lulu. Did he do it like that? Hello, Lulu.
He was so, I always found Mick scary. Well, I was 15, 16, you know, it was kind of where I would be excited and kind of a Twitter, you know, whenever I would see John or Paul or George, Ringo. They were my favorites, but then I loved the Stones' music.
Mm.
So, yeah, it was easy to fall in love with all those guys. Of course, I was a teenage girl. I was like every other girl out there. Except I didn't stand and scream. I would keep the screams down inside. I would be trying to be cool, which I was not. I was anything but cool.
You're happiest when you're on stage?
When I am actually doing what I do, this is what I do. People say, don't you want to give it up? Aren't you tired? And I say, are you kidding? This is the best. I mean, I've got a lot of friends who say, we just live vicariously through you, Lou. We watch you on Instagram. One of them on Instagram, because I, you know, do that stuff for the tours and stuff like that. One of them sent me a message and she said, stop it now. Having fun.
Not a chance.
Stop. No way am I going to stop it.
If I said to you today, you can basically now do whatever you want. With life, with the career, whatever. What's the one thing you go, yeah, you know what? I'll have a go at that.
You're deep, man. You're really deep.
This is a deep conversation for us, isn't it?
Deep. As you were saying, I was already preempting what I was going to say. You know, I thought it was just going to be, what would you, well, how would you change it? I wouldn't change anything. I'm doing what I want to do. I'm doing everything I want to do.
You're not an if only. You are an I can and I will.
Oh, I've just started a very small, exclusive club. It's the Can Do Club. And at the moment, there's only 4 women in it. Because if people, you ask somebody to do something, they either say that's not in my job description. Actually, people don't say that, but they think it. Or I haven't got the time. Or I don't know. I don't know if I could do that. Oh, you're not a member of my club. Can do. You can be in the club.
When you're in the shower, do you sing your own hits or do you sing other people's hits?
No, I don't sing my own. I obviously like other people's stuff. And of course, my absolute favorite right now just happens to come from Glasgow, and it's a boy, and his name's Lewis Capaldi. I love him. I think he's just a huge, huge talent. And I think it's also the great thing about Lewis is that, it's not about an image, it's about the music. And he's a great writer and a great singer, a good musician, but he also has a really delicious personality. He's real, keeps it real. And he's fresh, baby, he's fresh.